What if the next trillion-dollar opportunity isn't just artificial intelligence? What if the biggest winners of the next decade are the people who understand how these two technologies are quietly merging into one powerful financial revolution? For years, most investors have treated AI and crypto as completely separate industries. One was about smarter machines. The other was about digital money. But according to Kevin O'Leary, that's becoming a costly mistake. Because behind the headlines, behind the hype, and behind the daily price swings, a new digital economy is forming. One that could completely reshape how businesses operate, how money moves, and how wealth is created. The question is, why is one of television's most famous investors suddenly paying so much attention to the connection between AI and crypto? And what does he see that millions of investors still don't? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. Kevin O'Leary has spent decades evaluating businesses. As one of the toughest investors on television, he built his reputation by focusing on numbers instead of emotions. He rarely invests based on excitement alone. He looks for predictable cash flow, scalable businesses, strong management, and industries capable of growing for decades instead of years, which is why many people were surprised when he began speaking more openly about digital assets. Years ago, O'Leary was openly skeptical of Bitcoin. He questioned whether institutions would ever accept it. He worried about regulation. He criticized its volatility. But something changed. As governments began creating clearer crypto regulations, as major financial institutions started offering digital asset services, and as blockchain technology matured, his opinion evolved. Today, Kevin O'Leary still emphasizes discipline and risk management, but he also believes digital assets are becoming part of the global financial system. Yet Bitcoin isn't the only thing catching his attention anymore. Something much larger is beginning to emerge, and it starts with artificial intelligence. But here's where things get interesting. Artificial intelligence is creating a problem almost nobody talks about. Every AI model needs enormous amounts of computing power. Every chatbot, every image generator, every autonomous software agent, every advanced reasoning model consumes incredible amounts of electricity and computing resources. These systems don't simply run themselves. They require thousands of powerful graphics processors, massive data centers, global internet infrastructure, and enormous financial investment. Now imagine millions of AI systems operating every second across the planet. How do they pay each other? How do autonomous machines exchange value? How do AI systems purchase computing resources without humans approving every transaction? Traditional banking wasn't designed for that world. Banks operate during business hours. International transfers can take days. Fees add up quickly. Identity verification often requires humans. AI doesn't wait. Machines operate every second of every day, which raises a fascinating question. If AI becomes autonomous, what financial system will autonomous machines actually use? This is where crypto enters the picture. Blockchain networks don't sleep. Transactions can happen 24 hours a day. Digital wallets can interact automatically. Smart contracts can execute agreements without waiting for human approval. Suddenly, crypto isn't just competing with banks. It's becoming financial infrastructure for intelligent software. And that's an entirely different conversation. Kevin O'Leary has repeatedly emphasized that blockchain technology represents more than speculative trading. He sees tokenization, digital ownership, and programmable finance becoming increasingly important over time. Now imagine combining those capabilities with artificial intelligence. Instead of humans making every financial decision, AI agents could analyze information, negotiate prices, purchase services, manage investments, and complete transactions automatically. Without blockchain, that becomes extremely difficult. With blockchain, it becomes much more practical. That's why many technology companies are exploring this combination. AI provides intelligence. Blockchain provides trust. Together, they create something entirely new. Think about an autonomous delivery drone. The drone could purchase electricity to recharge itself, pay road usage fees, order replacement parts, hire another AI system for navigation assistance. Everything could happen digitally without a person clicking approve. It sounds futuristic, but early versions of these systems are already being developed. And this is exactly why long-term investors are paying attention. Because the real opportunity may not be choosing between AI or crypto. It may be understanding how they strengthen each other. But the story becomes even more fascinating. Artificial intelligence has another major challenge: data. Every AI model depends on enormous amounts of information. But one question continues creating controversy. Who actually owns that data? If an AI model trains on your artwork, your writing, your music, or your videos, should you be compensated? Blockchain introduces an interesting solution. Digital ownership can be verified. Creators can potentially license content automatically. Payments can occur instantly. Records become transparent. Instead of relying entirely on centralized platforms, ownership becomes programmable. That's one reason tokenization has attracted growing attention. Almost anything. Real estate, stocks, intellectual property, collectibles, even computing power can potentially be represented digitally. Kevin O'Leary believes tokenization could eventually transform multiple industries. Because once ownership becomes programmable, entire markets become more efficient. Now, combine that with artificial intelligence. AI can analyze, blockchain can verify. Together, they reduce friction across countless industries. But here's where things become even bigger. Imagine financial markets operating continuously. No closing bell, no banking holidays, no waiting until Monday morning. AI systems monitoring investments every second. Blockchain settling transactions automatically. Investors around the world participating simultaneously. That's a dramatically different financial system than the one we know today. And many experts believe we're only seeing the earliest stages. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. When Kevin O'Leary talks about the future of investing, he often says that capital always flows toward efficiency. Money naturally moves where costs are lower, transactions are faster, and businesses become more productive. That's exactly what AI promises. Companies are already using artificial intelligence to write software, analyze legal documents, detect fraud, answer customer questions, and even help scientists discover new medicines. Every year, AI becomes a little faster, a little cheaper, and a little more capable. But every improvement creates an even bigger demand for computing power. Think of AI as a massive factory. The smarter the machines become, the more electricity they consume, the more computer chips they require, the more data centers need to be built. And every one of those resources has value. Now imagine if those resources could be bought and sold instantly across the world. Instead of one giant company owning everything, millions of computers could contribute processing power. Individuals could rent out unused computing capacity. Businesses could purchase exactly what they need in real time. Blockchain makes that kind of marketplace possible. Rather than relying on one centralized provider, decentralized networks allow participants from around the world to contribute resources while being automatically compensated through digital payments. This idea is already beginning to emerge. Some blockchain projects are building decentralized marketplaces for computing power. Others focus on data storage. Some are creating networks where developers can access AI models without depending entirely on a handful of technology giants. Whether these projects ultimately succeed remains uncertain. But the trend itself is revealing. Instead of asking whether AI will replace crypto, developers are increasingly asking how blockchain can make AI more open, transparent, and accessible. That's a very different conversation than the one dominating social media. Kevin O'Leary has often emphasized that the biggest investment opportunities usually aren't the products consumers notice first. They're the infrastructure operating behind the scenes. Few people thought about internet servers during the dot-com boom. Few people discussed cloud computing before companies like Amazon transformed the industry. And almost nobody paid attention to payment processors before digital commerce exploded. Infrastructure rarely makes headlines, but it often creates the biggest fortunes. That may be exactly what's happening again. If artificial intelligence becomes part of everyday life, someone has to provide the computing power. Someone has to verify digital ownership. Someone has to secure transactions. Someone has to build the networks that allow intelligent software to operate around the clock. Those companies and the technologies supporting them could become some of the most valuable assets of the next decade, which explains why experienced investors are spending less time arguing over today's crypto prices and more time asking a much bigger question. Who will own the infrastructure of the AI economy? Because history shows that those who build the roads during a gold rush often become wealthier than those searching for the gold itself. And in the age of artificial intelligence, blockchain may be helping build those roads still. None of this guarantees success. In fact, there are enormous challenges ahead. Artificial intelligence raises ethical questions. Who is responsible if an autonomous AI makes a costly mistake? Who controls increasingly powerful algorithms? Can governments regulate technology evolving this quickly? Crypto faces its own obstacles. Regulations continue changing, security remains essential, scams still exist, prices remain volatile, institutional adoption is growing, but it's far from complete. Kevin O'Leary consistently reminds investors that diversification matters. He has repeatedly argued against betting everything on a single investment. Instead, he believes investors should manage risk carefully while staying open to transformational innovation. That's an important distinction. Believing in technology isn't the same as ignoring risk. The greatest investors understand both opportunity and uncertainty. History has demonstrated this repeatedly. The internet changed communication. Smartphones changed computing. Cloud technology changed business. Artificial intelligence may change productivity. Blockchain may change finance. But together, they may change something much larger. The way value itself moves through the digital world. Consider how many technologies initially looked disconnected. The smartphone combined cameras, GPS, music players, internet browsers, banking, shopping, photography, and communication into one device. Individually, each technology already existed. Combined together, they transformed everyday life. AI and blockchain could be following a similar path. Separately, they're impressive. Together, they unlock possibilities that neither technology can fully achieve alone. That's the connection Kevin O'Leary wants investors to pay attention to. Not daily headlines, not social media excitement, not short-term price swings, but long-term infrastructure. The systems quietly being built beneath the surface. The technologies businesses are beginning to integrate. The financial rails preparing for a future where intelligent software becomes part of everyday commerce. Most revolutions don't feel revolutionary while they're happening. They begin quietly, with small improvements, limited adoption, skepticism, confusion. Then suddenly, everyone wonders how the world ever operated without them. Whether AI and crypto ultimately fulfill their biggest promises remains uncertain. No one can predict the future with complete confidence. But one thing is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Artificial intelligence needs secure, programmable ways to exchange value. Blockchain was designed to move value digitally. Those paths are beginning to intersect. And investors like Kevin O'Leary believe that intersection deserves far more attention than most people are giving it today. Years from now, people may look back and realize that the biggest story was never AI alone. It was never crypto alone. It was the moment both technologies began building the foundation of an entirely new digital economy. The only remaining question is, will you recognize that transformation while it's still unfolding, or only after the rest of the world already has?